The passengers didn't know that, of course. All they saw was a little boy no more than 7 sobbing uncontrollably in seat 14A of flight 227, his small fists pressing against his ears as if trying to block out a world he couldn't hear. Asterisk, some sighed in annoyance, others whispered, a few rolled their eyes. Asterisk, but only one man in first class truly understood the storm inside that boy, because it was his son. Asterisk, Daniel Reeves, a millionaire known across the tech world for his flawless composure and cold logic, stood helplessly near the curtain separating first class from economy. On any day, his presence commanded attention. His tailored suit alone looked like it cost more than most passengers' monthly salaries. But today his posture was slumped, his eyes weary. Asterisk, because money could buy quiet planes, exclusive lounges, and private boarding, but it couldn't soothe a deaf child having a panic attack 30,000 feet above the ground. Asterisk, Ethan, buddy, please, Daniel whispered uselessly, hands trembling as he signed calm and breathed to his son. Asterisk, but Ethan wouldn't look at him. His tears streamed without sound, yet somehow felt louder than thunder. Asterisk, the flight attendant, Maria touched Daniel's arm gently. Sir, passengers are complaining. We may need asterisk. I know, Daniel said, voice cracking. I'm trying. Asterisk, truth was, he wasn't trying. He was drowning. Asterisk, it had been 7 months since the accident. A wet highway. A truck skidding across lanes, his wife's soft scream. Ethan survived. His mother didn't, and Daniel, for all his wealth and brilliance, hadn't yet figured out how to hold his son's breaking heart together. Asterisk, Ethan's hearing had always been weak, but the trauma pushed him into complete silence, total deafness. The world became a blur of movements without sound, and Daniel, he didn't sign well enough. He wasn't patient enough. He wasn't her. Asterisk, he failed every day, and today, at 32,000 feet, he was failing again. Asterisk, passengers shifted irritably. Someone muttered, control your kid. Another hissed, should have flown private if he's gonna scream. Asterisk, Daniel's jaw tightened, guilt and shame knotting in his chest. Asterisk, and then when he was seconds away from breaking, someone small tapped the back of his hand. He turned. A little girl stood there, maybe 9 or 10 years old, braids, pink backpack, calm eyes too wise for her age. She didn't speak. Instead, she raised her hands, and began to sign. Is he scared? Can I talk to him? Asterisk, Daniel blinked in shock. You know, sign language. Asterisk, she nodded. My brother can't hear. I learned so he wouldn't feel alone. Asterisk, for a moment, Daniel couldn't breathe. It was such a simple sentence, but it hit him like a tidal wave because it was everything he wished he had done for Ethan sooner. Asterisk, please, he whispered, stepping aside. Asterisk, the girl walked past him and knelt beside Ethan's seat. She didn't touch him, didn't startle him. She simply waited until his tear-blurred eyes lifted to her hands. Then she signed, Hi, my name is Lily. I'm your friend. I'm here. Asterisk, Ethan froze. His sobs hitched. His shoulders lowered just a little. Asterisk, Lily continued slowly, with exaggerated clarity, like someone who had practiced compassion as much as vocabulary. Asterisk, you're safe. The plane is okay. I'm scared of flying too sometimes. Asterisk, Ethan's lips trembled. His tears still fell, but they were quieter, looser, more confused than panicked. Asterisk, Daniel watched, stunned, as his son shifted, looked, responded. Asterisk, with small, shaking hands, Ethan signed back. Asterisk, it hurts. My chest hurts. Lily nodded, signing gently. It's called panic. It feels big, but it goes away. Breathe with me, okay? Asterisk, she exaggerated a slow inhale. Ethan followed. She exhaled deliberately. Ethan mimicked. Again. Asterisk, and on the fourth breath, his shoulders dropped, his fists unclenched, his sobbing slowed into trembling breaths. Asterisk, the entire plane seemed to exhale with him. Asterisk, passengers who had glared before now stared in astonishment. A man mouthed, God bless that kid. Maria, the flight attendant, covered her mouth, eyes glistening, and Daniel pressed a hand to his chest because something inside him cracked, something that had been hard and angry and terrified for months. It cracked, and then it softened. He hadn't seen Ethan this calm since before the accident. Lily asked Ethan, do you want to draw? I have markers. Asterisk, he nodded. Timidly, asterisk, she unzipped her backpack, in stickers and keychains, pulled out a small stack of paper and a handful of colorful pens. Asterisk, the plane hummed around them as Ethan drew shaky lines that turned into a sky, then a stick figure, then another with long hair. Asterisk, Daniel swallowed. He knew exactly who Ethan was drawing. Asterisk, without speaking, Lily slid him a yellow marker. The sun should be bright, she signed softly. Asterisk and Ethan sweet. Hurting, Ethan added a bright sun in the corner. Asterisk for 20 minutes. He didn't cry, didn't shake, didn't pull at his ears. He drew, signed, even gave a tiny, fragile smile when Lily made silly hand motions that weren't real signs at all. Asterisk a laugh he couldn't hear, but could feel. Asterisk when the plane finally steadied and the turbulence ended. Lily looked up at Daniel. He's okay now. Daniel's voice broke. Thank you, he whispered, signing the words clumsily. Thank you. You helped him more than I could. Asterisk Lily shrugged like it was nothing. But her mother, a tired-looking woman in jeans and a travel hoodie, smiled warmly from the aisle. Asterisk she's been interpreting for her brother since she was 5. The mother said quietly, I think she believes the world is kinder when everyone learns to speak with their hands. Asterisk Daniel nearly dared to laugh. She's right. The rest of the flight was peaceful. Lily returned to her seat, but Ethan kept glancing back every few minutes, lifting his paper to show her each new drawing. She celebrated each one with enthusiastic signs, sun, bird, a lopsided airplane. Daniel watched it all like a man seeing light. For the first time after months in shadow, asterisk, he realized something, then something painful but true. Asterisk he had spent months trying to fix Ethan, when all Ethan needed was someone who understood him enough not to treat him like he was broken. Asterisk when the plane landed, passengers unbuckled, bags slid from compartments. Asterisk but before anyone could rush forward, Daniel stepped into the aisle and approached Lily and her mother. Asterisk, may I? He asked, kneeling so he was eye level with Lily. He signed slowly. Carefully, you are a hero today, Lily giggled. No, I'm just a friend. Asterisk, a friend is a hero, Daniel said softly. Asterisk, he reached into his pocket and pulled out a small silver pinner, tiny airplane with wings outstretched. It was something he'd kept from his earliest business travels, a reminder of where he'd come from. Asterisk, but today, he realized, it meant more in someone else's hands. Asterisk, may I give you this? He asked. Asterisk, she shook her head politely. You already said thank you. That's enough. Her innocence stung him with its purity. Then may I give your family something instead? He asked her mother. I run a tech foundation. I'd like to fund interpreting programs, schools, anything your son needs. No publicity, no cameras, just help. Asterisk. Her mother's eyes welled. That's too much. Asterisk it isn't, Daniel said. Not compared to what your daughter gave my son. Lily signed one last message to Ethan before they parted. Don't be scared. The world is loud, but you are strong. Ethan signed back. Thank you, friend. Asterisk as passengers disembarked. Many had tears shining in their eyes, not from annoyance now, but from witnessing something rare, something pure, something that reminded them what compassion looked like. Asterisk at the terminal. Daniel lifted Ethan into his arms, a thing he hadn't done in months. Ethan rested his head on his father's shoulder. Small hands curled into Daniel's shirt. Asterisk. And for the first time since the accident, Daniel didn't feel like he was holding broken pieces. He felt like he was holding hope. Asterisk later that night, in a quiet hotel room overlooking the city lights, Daniel sat beside his sleeping son and picked up a book he had avoided for months. Asterisk a sign language primer. Asterisk, he opened to page 1 and whispered, I should have done this sooner, but I'm here now, buddy. I'm here. Asterisk, he practiced each sign, repeating them until his hands ached. Asterisk until the guilt loosened, until the fear softened, until love took shape in the movement of his fingers. Asterisk when Ethan woke up and saw his father signing, Good morning, I love you. Without hesitation or mistake the boy burst into tears again. But this time they weren't tears of pain. They were relief. Because for the first time since he lost his mother, he felt like he wasn't alone. Asterisk and on another plane, somewhere in another sky, a little girl named Lily was probably teaching someone else that kindness doesn't need sound to be heard. Asterisk,